Okay guys, welcome to the walkthrough for setting up conversion tracking. Now if you go to the Tools and Analysis dropdown and you click that, you'll see a bunch of different options come down, but what you're going to want to look for and what you're going to want to click on is the conversion option. Once the screen loads, you'll see a screen with your current conversion setup if you do have that, but if this is your first time setting it up, obviously you're not going to have that. So click the plus conversions button. Now for 90% of people that are tracking conversions, the source that you're going to want to use is a web page. There are also options for calling on site and app downloads, but again, if you're tracking form fills, somebody filling out a form on your website to contact you, somebody buying a product on your site, that's going to be a web page source. So we're going to use that for this example, and I'm going to call this test number 2. Click Save and Continue, and then it will give you a few different settings. Now you can use a conversion category if you would like. There's a purchase sale, a sign up, a lead, viewing a key page. This might be a good example of a conversion for, say, a restaurant viewing a menu page or viewing location page. And there's different pages that you internally might have higher value on. But for this, I'm just going to use a sign up page. The markup language, almost 90%, 99% of the time for this is going to be HTML. Unless you know otherwise, leave it at the default HTML option. Now conversion value, if it's not a purchase and you don't really know or have a way to quantify how much that conversion is, you can leave this blank. Sometimes people have an internal CPA value on somebody contacting you. Say if you're a web design firm and you know that you're willing to pay up to $50 for somebody coming to your website and contacting you about redesigning their website, then you can put a value on that here. And this just helps. This is, again, an internal option that you can add. Then there's an option for tracking indicator. What the tracking indicator does is allows you to show to your visitors that they are currently being tracked. Most of the time I go for do not add notifications because people are aware when they're being tracked. I think this is a nice thing to have, but rarely do I add it. And then if you want to go to the advanced options, you can change the view through conversion window. And what a view through conversion is saying that somebody viewed your ad, somebody clicked on your ad, and maybe they didn't buy something or contact you the first time, but within 30 days they did come back and buy or contact you or purchase that item. Now you can change that. Some people have a different philosophy. Oftentimes people think that changing this to 1 week is probably about right, because if they see an advertisement for your product, they're usually not going to come back for 30 days later and say, oh, Eureka, that sounds like a great thing that I want to buy now. Generally, I keep it at the 30 days. For more product-based industries, I go with 2 weeks, and we'll go with 2 weeks for this example. And then view through conversion search deduplication. So what this is saying is they viewed an ad the first time and clicked through, didn't buy, and then they came back again through another ad and did buy. So you can count that. I usually leave this as disabled as well, but again, it's just knowing about the options that you have for tracking. Now save and continue. Oops, no $sign in the conversion value. Save and continue. And then it will give you an option. You either click somebody else makes changes to the code, or I make changes to the code. So if you have a developer on staff or somebody that handles your programming, you can send them an email directly from the conversion tool. So you can say, set up conversion. Oh, this is not that. Let's just send it to me. And then you can send a copy to your email address and then add a personal message. Just saying, hey, can you please add this? And for people that are familiar with programming or making changes to your code, this should be a very easy add. You just add the code to one page and they should have it up within 5 minutes. Now if you don't, or if they don't make changes to the code and you're the one that handles most of that, you just click the I make changes to the code and it will display the code that you need to add between the body tags. You can just copy paste that, add it in, and it says it could take up to 24 hours for conversions to appear in your account. Click done. And then once it is verified and once it is collecting data, it will say verified. and then you'll start to see some conversions build up and the value if you did specify a value. So that's the walkthrough for setting up conversion tracking.